here's the thing, I'm practically a shut in. I don't leave my house unless absolutely necessary, and I rarely use any social media outside of Messenger because, well, what am I supposed to post when I don't go anywhere interesting? I'm a bundle of nerves dying from panic attacks every single day, so I don't even go out to meet the small amount of friends that I have. It's to the point where some of my acquaintances think I might actually be dead because I just go MIA both in real life and online. In fact, they only know I'm alive because my best friend is the one who goes outside in my stead to tell other people how I'm doing. But recently, I realized there's also a huge problem with that because people like to ask her what I'm doing, which stumps her because all I'm doing is, well, yeah. And I feel bad if my best friend had to tell everyone to their faces that I was spending my time reading and writing smut. So, to save her from that embarrassment, I'll tell them myself, but through a slightly unconventional method. Here, online, while hiding behind a virtual avatar. I'm already stepping out of my comfort zone by doing something like this online, but they do say to take small steps. So I figured if I was going to tell people what I'm up to, I might as well do it in a format that makes most sense to me, which is through books. So, welcome to my channel, The Sky Reads, hosted by your shut in, introverted, potato couch, unemployed, sorry ass. So, the big question, who am I? Or what's the lore behind the character that I'm using? So, my name is Skylana Starfall, half elf, half demon who fell into hell for the sin of reading very questionable things. Hopefully, that's a relatable backstory for many of you. My birthday is June 15, so hello to all you Gemini friends out there. My height is 166 centimeters and my MBTI is INFP. For those who don't know, that means I'm a mediator, a creative person with a rich inner world who normally hates conflict. And in case you haven't noticed already, my favorite color is blue. It's going to be everywhere on this channel. Just a fair warning. I can also speak and read English and Thai, but English isn't really my native language, so bear with me if I end up making any mistakes. And Japanese is something I'm working on right now, but my speaking for Japanese is a lot better than my reading or writing. And just a fun fact about myself, I'm an OG fanfiction writer and reader from the golden age, starting from fanfiction.net to Wattpad to AO3. But I'm not gonna link my pen name here because just in case something goes wrong on this channel and I get flamed to death, I'm hoping it's not going to affect whatever I do there. Someday I might feel confident enough to tell you guys what my AO3 username is, but for now, I'm going to keep it a secret. So next, I want to tell you guys more specifically about the kind of things that I read. So here are my favorite all-time reads. For light novels, we have Classroom of the Elite, and that time I got reincarnated as a slime. For Classroom of the Elite, I admit that the story has been going downhill lately, but I still really love year one. So if you haven't read or watched the series, please try it out if you're into high school stories with lots of mind games and also interpersonal relationship dramas. Moving on, I also read a bunch of webtoons from all sorts of different genres, like action, murim, romantasy, isekai, and here are some of my favorite ones. Absolute Regression, Villains Are Destined to Die, Kill the Villainous, The Great Estate Developer, and Return of the Blossoming Blade. For web novels, you cannot escape from omniscient reader's viewpoint. So if you only read the webtoon for this particular story, I highly suggest you give the novel a chance because it's just so much more well written. And some lines were deleted from the webtoon, and in all honesty, the original is just that much better. So please check it out. Another web novel that I personally really enjoyed is The King's Avatar. I have reread all 1000 plus chapters of this series like over 10 times. It is that good. And it dives really deep into the esports world, and the characters are just so amazing. Unfortunately, the official translation is currently being retranslated, and in my personal opinion, the newer translation is actually a lot worse than the original. They changed a lot of names, and we don't like it when they change names, do we? So, if possible, please go find the original EPUB. You won't regret reading this if you enjoy gaming. Next, we have manga and anime. So, I am forever a fan of Death Note, despite its rocky ending, and I personally am still a fan of Light, you know, even if he's, crazy. Um, anyways, Assassination Classroom is also another one of my favorite anime. If you didn't cry while watching this anime, then you probably are not a human being. You must be a demon. Anyways, one of my favorite childhood anime is Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, but if you have not heard of this anime before, it's one of those really classic and old shonen stories. So if you're a fan of like Naruto or like One Piece or Bleach or all of those old classics, then I highly recommend you check this out. There's also supposedly like a remake in the works, so that's something that I'm also really looking forward to. Now, outside from the classic shonen manga, I also read BL, and one of my all-time favorite BL series is Given. And I know that it's definitely quite popular right now, but it's great. We can always have more fans within this fandom. And another old classic that I also like is Sekaiichi Hatsukoi, which is basically the world's greatest first love. And for newer readers to BL, you might find some scenes and themes within this work questionable, so I probably wouldn't recommend it to someone who is more used to modern BL tropes. But regardless, I still think it's one of those classics that many people should know. And aside from Japanese BL, I also read Korean BL like Payback, The Pawn's Revenge, and Lost in the Cloud. And my all-time favorite BL is actually a Danmei novel that also has a donghua called The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, or 魔道祖师. Now, please forgive me again if I pronounce it wrong because I am not Chinese. I'm so sorry. But this story is peak, okay? It is absolute cinema. I can never stop talking about how amazing this series is. So if you have never read any anime before, I genuinely recommend this to be your first read or first watch. It is that good, and it will definitely change your life. Because I don't know about you, but for me, the main couple, it just ruined every other BL for me. It's just so good. Now, so I think you know by now that I'm a huge fanfiction and light novel, webtoon, whatever internet novel reader, but I also want to get back into reading physical books and other, Western novels or English literature. So, just for your information, here are my favorite book genres in general. So, I will devour anything with romance in it. In fact, a story without any romance, subplot or not, is going to be a much slower read for me. I want to say though that when I mean romance, I don't actually mean smut. Like, yes, I can read smut and I enjoy them sometimes, but normally that's just when I'm reading fanfiction. I haven't read proper erotica or anything explicit outside of AO3. So, no, I have not read 50 Shades of Grey, nor do I particularly feel inclined to. Though I'm willing to try if people actually want to see me react to that, so we'll see for now. I'm also a huge fan of mystery or crime thrillers. In terms of anime, I'm like always watching things with detectives in them, like, Detective Conan, classic. Anyways, murder mysteries are totally my thing, and I really enjoy them. I have a giant collection of Sherlock Holmes just sitting on my bookshelf. So, yeah, I'm very excited to try reading new books in this genre. Fantasy or romantasy is also something that I want to read because I've only stuck with webtoons, light novels, and isekai anime, so I want to explore more to see what else the world of literature has to offer. So, chances are my first read of this channel might be a romantasy book. I'm also very highly interested in classics, so I'm a Shakespearean girl. Yeah, I've read all of his plays, wrote a whole essay on them in college, and now I want to read more classic literature, but outside of the things that they force you to read in school. So, things like 1984, Animal Farm, things like that, I personally read all of them. But right now, I want to check out things written by Jane Austen because I've heard a lot about her. I tried Sense and Sensibility for one of my university courses, but I wasn't really feeling it. But I do want to give it another try, so we'll see about that. Now, I don't have a particular genre that I would just straight up not read, but stories predominantly with horror or a sci fi setting is not something that I would want to pick up. Young adult is also another genre that I'm not too interested in. I'm okay if it's mixed with other genres, so like young adult and fantasy, or like young adult horror, or anything like that is perfectly fine for me. But if the story is just young adult, where we go through these characters um growing up and going through a coming of age story kind of thing, I probably wouldn't like it that much. So just beware. And mind you that there's nothing wrong with these genres. I just don't particularly vibe with them. So if you like these genres, by no means go for it. Keep reading. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. Now, I just want to spend a few minutes just talking about what you can expect to see from this channel. So, first of all, since I'm obviously a reader, I plan on posting videos where I give book reviews or discussions. In my reviews, I'm going to list out all the things I enjoyed and also all the things that I didn't enjoy, along with what kind of reader would enjoy or not enjoy a certain book. I want to be as helpful as possible so that you guys can easily decide whether you want to read something or not. I'm also going to separate my reviews into both a spoiler free section and a spoiler okay section. So this way, people who haven't read the book yet can decide whether it sounds interesting enough, and those who have read the book can get my actual full honest reactions to it. So hopefully that will be helpful for you guys. I also promise to be completely fair in my book reviews. So, I once took a creative writing course in university, and there was something that my professor said that stuck with me until now. If you're critiquing someone else's writing and you make them completely quit writing forever because of how you chose your words, then you are literally a murderer. You killed someone's potential and dreams. That person might have grown up to write a best selling masterpiece 5 years later, but they never wrote it because you made them feel so ashamed of themselves that they gave up. So, in my book reviews and recommendations, even if I'm talking about a book that I absolutely hated, I will still write out both the bad and the good things that I saw because there is always going to be an audience for a book. Someone's going to like whatever you wrote, and I want the books I read to find the right audience for them, even if I perhaps wasn't a part of that audience. So, yeah, I aim to give honest but balanced reviews on this channel. So, aside from book reviews and recommendations, I also plan on posting discussion videos on various topics in different book fandoms. So, for example, I plan on making a video talking about the isekai genre, romantasy, and also the whole villainous trope that has been going around lately through Webtoon. And I just plan on exploring what these types of books have to offer and what I personally think about them. Something else that I also plan to do is other fun and chill content like making tier lists for different books, anime, games, whatever you want. I want to give you guys a variety of content to watch. So, aside from book related content, I also plan on uploading game playthroughs or let's play videos. I am open to suggestions on new games to play, but just know that I am no action gamer. You're not going to see me playing FPS because one, my gaming skills are practically non existent, and two, my eyesight is pure shit. I will get myself dizzy playing all those battle games, so unfortunately, that's not what I'm here for. Instead, I do play a lot of visual novels and otome games or other single player JRPGs, so maybe we could do that one day. And just in case you're curious about the games that I do play, I play things like Persona 4, Ace Attorney, Metaphor Refantasio, Danganronpa, Honkai Star Rail, and a bunch of other otome games like Hakuoki or Collar X Malice. I'm also very interested in trying my hand at Baldur's Gate 3 because I've heard so many good things about it, so chances are I might be starting a Let's Play series for that very soon. I also haven't played Persona 5 yet, so that's something that you might be looking forward to. I personally also love K-pop and J-pop, so maybe one day I might be posting singing covers. I don't know yet, but we'll see. And lastly, about streaming. So, I know I'm using a VTuber avatar, but I, for now, don't really plan on actually doing any live streams yet. I have two main reasons for this. One being that I'm just not comfortable with the idea yet, and I'm not confident in my ability to host long live streams. Right now, if I try to do one, I feel like I probably faint from a panic attack. So I feel like I need to gain a bit more confidence in myself before, we go down that route together. And the second reason is I have no idea how to do a live stream. I'm still entirely new to using the OBS and just even playing around with this VTuber avatar here. So if something goes wrong in the stream, I have a feeling I won't know how to fix it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try streaming in the future. I just need to mentally prepare myself and I guess, learn more about the things that I should be doing on live streams. Basically, I just need more practice. Okay, so I'm very sorry about that. I wish I were more tech savvy or surrounded by people who know what they're doing about streaming, but like I said, I don't have any friends in real life outside from like 5 people, and I don't want to invite random people inside my house, so yeah, sorry about that. I promise though that I am going to try my best to just get more courage, become a better version of myself, and one day have the confidence to actually interact with all of you on live stream. And finally, what are my goals for this channel? So it's very simple. I am going to have fun. That's literally it. I'm not planning to be a full-time content creator, nor do I dream of making money being a VTuber. This is first and foremost just a hobby for me, a space where I can share anonymously with other people the things that I love and enjoy. So I'm not gonna burn myself out trying to crank out content. I'm here to be a comfortable space for anybody to drop in when they just want to listen to someone talk about a book they enjoyed, or, if you're in the mood to see somebody completely fumble games. Yeah, so if you've made it this far through this video, congratulations, we're almost done. I just want to set down a few rules. Please be kind in the comments. Let's keep things peaceful and foster an environment where people feel safe to share their opinions. And most importantly, I hope you guys also have fun watching my videos. Hit the like and subscribe button if you want to support me or join me on my reading and gaming journey. And that's all for now. Until next time, may your skies always be blue. See you next read!